Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Legends Unleashed Championship, and we are heading towards the quarterfinals of this tournament. On the blue side, it is going to be Team Eliminators taking on Team ZOHUNT on the right side. I'm Sasuke, and along with me, it is none other than Silverhawk, and this is the best of five series. So the first team to win the three wins will be moving on to the next phase of the tournament. But this time, to spice things up, the losing team will be moving on to the lower bracket. So technically, they do have a second chance right now.
And having it as a backup plan is really good. So they could just climb back again and they have a chance to win back, right? And like just looking on to the both teams, Sasuke, which team do you think like will win this round? The team eliminators or the team Zohan?
Well, I wouldn't recommend anything because right now we are in the draft phase and it is just the starting of the phase. I couldn't be.
By lantern's light.
My mission is to protect
Your
lives.
team is banning.
Span coming in, but there we go. That is the Hilo span coming in from Team Eliminators.
And also, they missed out one ban and they actually have the first pick. So they should be the one playing the mind games right here because for themselves, they could actually prioritize one and give back two. So they need to at least ban much of the heroes. So the second pick from the team Zohan, they won't be able to pick much meta heroes. But I do think like they have missed one ban, so it's going to cause them some problem though. But like it just depends on how you're comfort with the meta heroes. Don't you think, Sasuke?
Well, technically, there are a lot of heroes which could create an havoc in that land of Dawn, but again, the six bans in the early phase of the games, I don't think so. That is just too much. And again, mind games being playing by team eliminators, but teams on they could
Your team is
do
banning.
again a mind games over a mind game. So that would be some mind game square. But whatever, we are seeing a Hayabusa ban
said
right
there are no
away from the
shortcuts in
team
life?
eliminators
I
with the
literally invented
response.
one.
Team Zohunt will be banning out that chip. Oh my god! But again, there are plenty of heroes open right away. Like there is a Ruby, there is a Roger,
Your team
and there
is
we
picking.
go. Team eliminators without wasting a time. They'll be securing that Roger.
Oh, you even mentioned the Ruby pick, and I do think so. The Prime from Zohan, he actually here to like, oh my God, the Ruby is open, so I'm just gonna pick it. And meanwhile, if we see, the link is open as well. So if they want to go for the link, they could actually go right now. Because if the team eliminators want to go some mind plays, they could actually put Roger on gold and pick Ling for themselves in the next pick for themselves. So from Zohan, this is the time for them to pick either some meta heroes or perhaps a Ling. But Dusty Mizo, I do think after picking the
I'm the
Ruby, I'm
priestess of
getting a
primal
slight belief
lightning.
that
Your
the
team, the
Ruby is going
hunter
to
of
be on
all
to
the
the gold
evil
lane.
gods.
And Edith, she's probably going on to the EXP lane.
You may be right, but again, the primal wrath overtook that Dusty Mizo on that. Edith would be creating a lot of havoc in the land of Dawn along with the Ruby. Those two picks from the Zohunt are technically too good to maneuver the team in the team fights, providing too much of crowd control for their teams. I don't think so. Like, how would the team eliminators would be responding them with such picks? I mean, they could probably go for a diggy right now because just to counter them, but I don't think so that would be the case. But they will be locking down the Terizla in the EXP lane. And Edith
Oh.
versus and Terizla in the EXP lane. I don't think so. Like it won't be a stalemate in the laning phase.
As fleeting as a snow.
But it
Your
would be
team
just
is
1v1 brawl
picking.
just happening
As
casually into the
timeless
EXP
as a
lane. So the
glacier's
EXP lane
heart.
gank, it's going to be really tanky to just kill either of the EXP laners like Terizla or the Edith to just
I
dive
didn't
inside and
cure
get a
the
kill.
pain.
But
Your
meanwhile,
team
win
is
on that
banning.
Valentina. I do think so. Valentina right now could be a good pick because she could actually steal either the penalty zone from Terizla or either the ultimate of Aurora, which should give them a lot of CC along with the Ruby and the Edith.
Come on, Dexter.
You may
It's
be
our
right. You may be right
showtime.
on
Is
that.
burning.
Again, moving on to the second phase of the draft, we are seeing a Claude ban coming in from Team Zone. But again, I do prefer a Nathan ban because if they have seen Team Eliminators playing the previous
Still
games, they
waters run deep.
prioritized
Your
Nathan in
team
the
is
gold
banned.
lane for themselves. I mean, Crisis on that Nathan is just too good for himself, making his team win in the later phase of the game.
And
But again,
also,
in the contrary, but
and
again, in
also
the
like also
contrary,
I mentioned, like Sasuke, like even I mentioned that from the side of Team
Magic is
Eliminators,
my
they were
life.
yet to
Your
pick the
team is
marksman. So
banning.
the mind games are literally going around for the Team ZOHUNT. Like if you see like the Harith and the Claude, they're considering that the Roger is considered as the hyper right now, but he could actually go on to the gold lane as well.
You may be right about that again, but again, I don't think so. Okay. I could debate about it like Raja on the gold lane is far more better on the Raja on the hyper because he needs the what do you say the snowball in the early game if he is on the hyper section again. But adding a flicker to the Raja in the gold lane would
Sir,
just provide
what's your
him
command? Your team
some
is banned.
survivability against those two tanky CC heroes coming in from Zohunt.
That is true. That is absolutely true. And meanwhile, like from the side of Team Zohan, they're yet to pick the hyper. So as like compared to the side of Team Eliminators, against that Terizla and the Aurora, which hyper do you think would work the most?
I don't think so anyone would rework, but again, it is up to the players. But this time for the pick for the side of Team Zoo, and I do think like they could probably go for a hyper. But oh, wait a minute, there is an alpha open. I mean, look at that. If they could go for an alpha,
Gaze
but they will
Your
be
upon the
team
going
edge
is
in
of the
banned.
from
void.
that Nolan. So even Nolan works because they already got the frontliners, and that is do. I mean, both of them are quite tanky. So making sure they get a burst damage in the hyper section would be going good for them.
And also, like for their team, for the Team
See
Zohan, they actually
what
have a lot of
is these
CCs.
bandages?
So the Ruby or either the Edith could actually make a opening phase for that Nolan to just go inside and just dive and use the fracture and just back off and secure the kill. Meanwhile, like it would be the same scenario for the Team Eliminators as well, because there's Roger along with the Lycan Pumps. He could secure the kill like the Nolan, like the N out is way too much from the both of the teams. And we can see like Kimi has just locked onto that Kufra. So as a counter, do you think like Kufra would be able to counter a lot of dashing heroes like Nolan or the Ruby in
I
this
am
match?
vengeance
Your
It
team is
could, but
inside.
banned.
again, it could be a double-edged sword because Ruby could prioritize, and I'm using his ultimate. That is, I'm offensive. I'm offended. Over to that Kufra, making sure he takes out him from the team fight, and then there is the edit. She could probably mark the back line, and along with that, like they have the Valentina. So she could probably prioritize the Kufra's ultimate and make sure she goes in and make sure
Exorcist of
she
the
stuns
dragon
one or two
spirit
members
here.
of Team Eliminators along with that edit. But again, wait a minute. Twist coming in from the side of Team Zoo and that final pick over to that Yuzhong. Meanwhile, we can see that edit would be on the rumor section, it seems.
Oh my god. The amount of CC they have on their team is just insane, man. Like they could just the Valentina is going to definitely steal a CC ultimate from the side of Team Eliminators. There's Ruby, there's Yuzhong with the Black Dragon form and the Furious Dive along with the Petrify. Then there's Edith to just give a lot of engages for her team. And as a disengager, there's Kufra to just use the Tyrant's Rage as an escape skill for his team. But he would most probably do it as an engage because the Terizla, he can't always just jump along with the penalty zone, right?
Welcome
I
to
know, but
Mobile
again,
Legends.
I do think like Aurora and Moscow will be
Monster
having a
hits your
hard time
enemy reaches
against
the
those,
battlefield. Smash
early
them.
engagers. That is the Dragon, along with that
Monstrous
Nolan, and not to
kill.
mention or not to forget that Ruby. I mean, probably there are four heroes in the team Zohan, like which could probably mark the backline out there, which are the diving type of heroes.
Yep, that's true. And meanwhile, on to the bot side, we can see the Ruby and the Moscow, they will have a lot of clash between themselves because Ruby, I don't think like the Ruby is going to freeze the lane for that Moscow.
But that is the support coming in from team eliminators. They are rotating, making sure. Wait a minute, there is some micro plays coming in from team eliminators, making sure they get the enemy's minion way before and making sure that Nolan is not level 4 mark. Wait a minute, that is a jump coming in from Kufra. He might be in some trouble. But Kane, it is there
Oh.
to catch him off, but that is the flicker, but that goes the first blood coming in to the hands of that Loopsies.
Oh my god. He actually took the creep for Nolan and he actually gave his life to that Nolan. What a beautiful trade, man. I will accept that out. But onto the bot side, Nolan has already got his first kill. So they would most probably gank onto that Moscow. And Ruby, along with the flicker and the second skill, is going to give a lot of setups onto the mid side. It's going to be 3-1 situation onto bid. So I do think so he will most probably engage, but never mind, it doesn't happen.
Wait a minute, that is way too cool, man. I mean, that Kufra was quite a sneaky position, but he gave up his position too early. Meanwhile, in the top section, there is the Saramon trying to go for a kill, but in the process, he'll be just going back because he knows like there is the backup coming in from Team ZOHUNT. The turtle will be spawning in 2 seconds of time as we speak of. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Prime making sure he cuts the lane and is there in the team fight for the turtle.
And also, like Siral Moon, he knows that everyone is still into the bush, so he's just baiting out so the turtle actually damages and reveals the position of them. And meanwhile, we can see a lot of damage to the turtle has been given from Loopsy. Let's see how the contest goes. There's only Crazy to just steal. Oh! Siral Moon steals the turtle perfectly in the black dragon form along with the Tyrant's Rage, just giving a lot of CC to his team. Everyone probably goes down. It's like 4 people down and only in one team fight. There's only Loopsy who secures his life onto that turtle.
My Oh my, I mean, that was just a clean, perfect combination coming in from that Kufra, along with that penalty zone from the Tesla and the freeze coming in from that Aurora. And the Roger was just there to make sure he do his best to clean out. I mean, this time every one of them got one kills. Like that Roger got one kill, that Terizla secures to get a one kill, and even the Aurora this time managed to get a one kill again. Terizla in some early engages, but this time there is the Kufra jump will be going in. That goes the penalty zone connecting to the two peoples and the flicker being used. But again, this time Roger will be there to secure a kill, and along with that, Valentina going down in the mid lane as he will be going in the hands of that Terizla. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Crisis will be going down as Ruby, along with that Nolan, would be enough to melt him down.
Oh my god, what a beautiful play coming in from the team eliminators and that Kimi, what a nice set from him. And on to the bot side, we can see the Ruby is some in that position along with the Loopsy. Oh, the fracture has been used onto the Kufra. Didn't do enough damage to just peel his skin off, but never mind. On to the mid side, this Crazy is ready with the onward with them. Oh my god, the passive is most of it faded from the Aurora, and yes, they want to go for them. The Black Dragon Bomb has been used up along with the kill taken onto the bed. It's going to be the killing spree. Seramun secures a killing spree for himself. He's now in some bad situation. He seems to escape, but he also wants to go for the more onto that prime.
I'm offended being used in an aggressive way, but that is the jump going back. And look at that, Terizla is just too aggressive using his talent zone connecting down to the Arakan. And he'll be going down, but as the Roger along with that Terizla, he is securing a kill over to that. But look at this, and reversing one more, and he'll be getting it a double kill. But this time, he won't go for a triple kill. In the tower, when we were in situation, I don't prefer to go against an aided, but look at that. He'll be securing that buff. A red buff taken away from Nolan, and this time the second turtle might be an uncontested turtle in the hands of Team Eliminators. What an early team fight, the early aggression from this team.
And also Team Zohan, they're probably facing the consequences of not banning the Roger. Like he's just diving inside and securing the kill for himself. Meanwhile, onto the bot side, we could probably see a potentially gank coming onto the prime because Edith and the Nolan, they're in the mid lane. They're just waiting for the Roger or either the Aurora to come and gank them. But some micro plays are really good happening onto the top side. Terizla secures the turret for himself. Meanwhile, you can see the bid. Oh my god, along with the flicker play coming in from the edit. And the Kufra just gives a lot of damage to that Nolan. But he seems to be some problem. Oh my god, he falls on the hands of Kimmy. They want to go for the more ammo-funded play coming in from that Ruby. They want to go for the kill, and then Lycan pounce from the win. He just steals the kill right away. And we can see Kimmy in some bad position. He will be most probably secure from the Yu-Jog and the Dusty Mizo. He's just casually taking the kills. Crisis in some trouble. He's been inside the 2v1 situation at this point, and he'll probably go into the hands of Vin.
Win, my oh my. In spite of having a low HP or minus 30% of the HP, he makes sure to outplay that Crisis, who was doing a 1v3 situation for quite a long time over there. This team fights, I mean, my oh my, I'm quite out of words. I mean, I don't even know how to express it. Like, these team fights are just too out of the way, out of the world. Again, meanwhile, in the mid lane, Roger might be in some trouble, but he goes back as the dash coming in from the Edith won't be connecting it. Again, that is the possible. Oh, wait a minute, we might see an engage. Penalty zone along with that jump, but this time Kufra managed to take down that Ruby, and yes, down again. Penalty zone being cancelled out. Roger securing a kill over to that. With that Kufra will be going down a 1 for 2 straight. This time the hand of Team ZOHUNT.
Oh my god, what a massive play, like a payback given to the team eliminators, and they want to go for the mid force. This prime along with the ammo funded play will be coming from him. But meanwhile, we can see, oh, but the Seramun, he wants to go for the kill steal coming in onto that oopsie, and the human form has been done, and while the retribution has been used to escape from that situation. Meanwhile, you can see Bid in some dire position, he also escapes from that situation. But meanwhile, the turtle, both the retributions has been used from both the junglers. So I do think they will come back for the contest.
I mean, Team ZOHUNT, they know how whom to prioritize in the team fight, and that is none other than Bid. The first one to make sure, consider the Bid as the most primal threat giver in the whole team fight, because along with the penalty zone and the Kufra jump, along with his ultimate, Bid can do ton amount of damage, but that is the sting, but it won't be good enough as Roger will be securing that third turtle for his team.
And he was looking for the retribution, for the perfect retribution to match and steal the turtle, but he actually failed to do so. He used his skills to just dive inside and secure the turtle, but that will not happen. And meanwhile, Crazy giving a lot of vision for his team. He's just looking for an onward setup. Meanwhile, we can see Tyrant's Revenge will most probably set up. Oh, the penalty zone is perfectly connected along with the primal man used from Crazy, and the Black Dragon form just coming late to the party, giving a lot of damage, and it's going to be taken down with the Tyrant's Rage coming onto that Kufra. Bit secures the kill onto the win, as well as the Dusty Mizo is like 3 people down for 0.
Bid looking for more prime in some dire situation as he is, closed from all the sides. Kufra is there charging up. That was from the Crisis. Is looking for more of it being used, and there goes down the Ruby as the Hungry Wolf will be taking the kill once again.
What a play, man, from that Kufra as well as that Moscow. They're just playing along with the coordination. What a perfect coordination with the Kimi. He's wanted to go for the more, like the Earthshatter has been used up along with Tyrant's Revenge. He wants to give a set for his team. Meanwhile, Crazy in some dire position. Our Primal Wrath has been used up in a defensive way, but the execution strike secures the kill onto that edit. Now they want to go for the kill onto the mid side. The turret from the tier 2 onto the mid side has been taken. They also want to take the inhibitor shield for themselves. Meanwhile, Dusty Mizo, he was looking for a furious dive engage, but never mind. Oh, Kufra just went too deep in, and he will be, I do think so. There's a lot of damage given to the Kufra along the payback given that to the Kufra, and will be double kill taken of the Serar Moon. He wants to go for the kill, but the Lycan Pounce triple kill coming in from to the Serar Moon. He's looking for that maniac, but the Black Dragon form stayed there, but he just went too deep in, and the overextension play coming in from that Serar Moon will cost his life.
That is true, and this time, penalty zone missing out, causing off guard Natalia, but again, this time he might be in some trouble because being used again, and that is the Crisis marking down that tower, securing the first win, and just
oh my god.
Goes down. Eliminators making sure they get
Victory!
game number 1.
What a play coming in from that Kufra. I do think so. He went inside intentionally. He wanted to just bait out all of the skills from the team Zohan and the Ruby, the Aurora, the Edith. Everyone used all of the skills onto that Kufra. When the skills, everything was used, he just used a Tyrant's Rage to just knock them against the wall. And the whole team just gave them a lot of backup. And Roger just took a triple kill for himself.
That is true. That is true. I mean, the perfect combination. It seems like team eliminators, they are in the perfect scene, the perfect zone, which you call for the gamers when they are too hyped and they are too oriented in the team fight. I mean, look at that. The flicker penalty zone coming in from that Suzumi along with the backup jump from Kimi and, Bit just using his skills to frost the enemies down. And there is the Roger to clean up the rest of the mess which the team has made for just a free food for the Roger. 10 to 10. I mean, that Roger was just too hungry to get the kills, but this time I do think it was the Kimi along with that bid doing some destruction in the land of Dawn for the side of Team Eliminators.
Hey, but wait a minute. Just look at the itemization of that Nolan. He built that Winter Crown. What are your thoughts on the build onto that Nolan?
I mean, it was a good item because he considered that, probably he could save himself from the engage coming in from Kufra along with that Aurora.
Yep, that could be true, but going as a if you're playing a Nolan, you should need to be go onto the pure burst, or the damage onto that fracture will not be enough to take any kill.
You are right. You are right about that again. But no, he considered that as a team-oriented item. Like if I want to win a team fight, I need to actually survive it. And he was not able to survive a single team fight. We saw the first, second total team fight, which was in the perfect sync and perfect combination. Like he was just stunned up by the Kufra straight away. He was not able to dodge the bouncy ball coming in from him, though.
That is absolutely true. And anyways, we'll see you after a short break into the match number 2. penalty zone from Dusty
Your
Mizo,
team
it's
is
going to cause them
banned.
some trouble, but it just depends on the execution of the team works. But meanwhile, the Crisis has locked onto that Harit. Um, the goal laner hasn't been
Sir,
picked from the side
what's
of
your
Zohan,
command? Your
but
team
from
is
Crisis onto that
banned.
Harit. After looking onto that three picks, Sasuke, do you think Harit is a valid option right now?
It could be, unless and until Team ZOHUNT manages to take down that Minstar in the gold lane, which they could probably do unless and until Team Eliminators just ban it out in the last ban they have it for themselves though. But again, you never know unless and until you can also have a valid option to pick out the Esmeralda in the gold lane or even in the hyper. We never know because it is still a try and error kind of a draft because there are certain heroes which could probably work against this Harriet, or you could probably go with the flow of the
My
marksman that is the
Minotaur
Clint. I
Your
do
will
team
believe
is
finish
like
off
banned.
what was
Clint
left
might have an upper hand over to that Harriet in the early phase of the game, but we are seeing the Minotaur ban coming in from the
Gaze
side of Team
upon
Zone,
the
and
Your
there
team
entry
is
is the
extended.
final ban. The Nolan ban respect ban coming in from the side of Team Eliminators.
As a Nolan ban right now, I do think even if they have picked the Nolan, it won't be enough to just counter that Xbox. If we're talking about the late game, he would probably do, but in the early game, I don't think so. He
As
would be able to just
fleeting as a
pop out that
snowflake
Firaga
in
armor and with it all
breath,
the energy
as
used up from the
timeless as
fracture
a
as well as the
glacier's
skills.
heart.
But are we just seeing the Aurora ban from the side of Team Zohan? Uh, oh my god, like from the last match, if we see the Aurora was actually giving a lot of damage. So
It's
they
time to
have
go to the
actually
IVP
prioritized the Aurora.
show. Your
So
team is
from the
banned.
side of Team Eliminators, what if they've secured the Aurora before the second phase of banning? I'm really like getting some kind of chills right now, and we can see the build is just going on to that Lilia. He would just casually be just poking around with those bombs, giving damage to that Dusty Mizo as well as this crazy Psycho.
I mean, technically, they would be having a hard time to deal with this Lilia. But again, Win would be having a good time. But again, talk about the Win. He only have the Edith to not just
Time to
steal
drop
the
the beat
ultimate
of the
from, I mean, the
flash.
Primal Wrath and the Frag Armor are the only viable options for this Win to steal the ultimate in the team fight situation. But there is the pick,
Come on,
the joy
Dexter.
coming
It's
in
our
from the side
Your
showtime.
of
team
Team
is
Zohan.
banned.
Loops is on that joy. Meanwhile, Prime securing that Claude. Technically, I do think like Claude would be having a good hand, but okay, he needs the item against that Harriet. In the team fight, I do think like Prime on the Claude would be dealing ton amount of damage to the back line. And I mean, he would be just doing fine, but wait a
I'm the
minute.
power of
Turns
light
things
incarnate.
are quite turned as Kimmy is on that Kaja. I mean, I don't think so. Like with that pick, Prime would be going with just blinking off in the team fight. He needs to make sure that Kimmy is nowhere near him.
That is true. Like if the chip goes to the anti-rotation or the team eliminators go for the anti-rotation, they would be able to just counter that chip very easily. But he'll just be using the portals to just get him onto that team fight and use his portals to just bring his whole team. But if they do a reversal rotation from the side of team eliminators, the Kaja along with the pull coming in from him, he'll just casually pull out either the Claude from his turret, and the whole team would give a lot of backup to him.
That
Welcome
is
to
true. That is
Mobile
true. The divine
Legends!
judgment from that Kaja would be coming in handy. But again,
5 seconds
that
till the
Kaja would
enemy reaches the
be a good
battlefield.
pick because
Smash them!
Joy technically evades the CC. So just to counter it, they have picked it the Kaja to suppress the Joy along with that Cloud. Who both of them are quite sneaky and slithery heroes in the team fight. They could just slither and slip by the enemy heroes doing ton amount of damage. But in the mid lane, we are seeing like both of the dealers along with the Remage and the Room doing the job. But look at that rotation coming in from Kaja along with that Lilia might be in some trouble. That is the prime.
Oh, but also he has the first skill, so he need to scale up to the second skill for an escape. But the Kimi and the Bid, they're so close to Prime. what if they've revealed the position of the Cloud? But meanwhile, onto the Litho Wander, it's going to be a lot of contest happening. The Lilia, she actually wanted to just poke the Litho and get the Litho for herself. Onto the top side, we can see a 1v1 brawl happening. And also, like the Kaja and the Chip, they're just casually poking each other, bullying among each other onto their skills. And the Xbox, he's ready with his burst to just gank onto the EXP lane.
Bully as in just how people bullies you or you bully them in some sarcastic way. But wait a minute, we'll talk about it a while after. But this time, Sarah Moon on that Xbox burning around that front liners of the team ZOHUNT.
That's true. And like the Kimi, he's just ready. Like even if someone just rotates, I'm just gonna give you the vision of him, and that's what he's actually doing right now. And onto the bot side, both the gold laners, they're just playing to get a lot of farm with themselves. And Joy just waiting patiently for a setup from the Terizla so that they could actually go for a counter engage as well, because the turtle will be spawning into the 2 seconds. And both of the junglers, they have their ultimates and the buffs ready with them. Meanwhile, onto the mid side, both the tanks, they're trying to get the level 4 with those minions.
Meanwhile, Dusty Mizo might be in some level 4 situation and he gets it. But look at that aggressiveness over to that game, making sure he gets the blue or make sure that Loops uses his retribution in the process to secure a blue. And that is the Joy Dance coming in along with the penalty zone connecting two members. But that is the frag armor. Retribution secure from that Salar Moon, the turtle securing from the side of team Eliminators, but in the process, two of the members of them will be going down, and Suzumi forced to use his flicker just to save himself. The early damage from Team ZOHUNT is just too much, and that Joy, he was just dancing around with his ultimate here and there.
And he was almost at the edge to get the kill onto that Xbox, but he was way too close to get the kill, but never mind, he just escapes with a slight bit of HP. But meanwhile, onto the bot side, the Hari and the the Kaja, he actually wants to reveal the position of that Prime at this point, but he's just casually just giving a lot of damage onto the minions onto the top side. They want to go for an engage, but the Earth Shatter is giving a lot of CC to them. Meanwhile, the Primal Wrath has been used up along with the penalty zone from the Susumi. They're just giving them a lot of CC inside the turret. They have no fear at all. They even got secure the kill and saved his life.
Dusty Mizo doing some amazing plays, but look at that HP. A minion hit or a wind blow could, just wipe him out of that distance. But again, Prime might be in some bad situation as Lilia is just bombarding his bombs over to him right now. Kimi making sure he gets someone in his divine judgment.
Oh my god, and Serar Moon ready with his buffs. He wants to gank to the gold lane, but he isn't getting any chance because there's no engager with him. The Kimi and the Bid, they're rotating onto the mid side. I don't think the Kimi is looking for a pull onto that Valentina, but there's Chip and the Prime to just defend the turret as much as they want, because there's like 4-man rotation coming in onto the gold lane. But there's crazy to give the vision of that Xbox onto the top lane. It isn't happening much, but the Chip uses the portal just gank onto that edit, and then he brings his whole team along with the Primal Wrath has been used up as a defensive to just defend himself for the Suzumi, but he just dies along with the process. And Serar Moon, he just wants to poke the Dusty Mizo at this point in the penalty zone. From the Dusty Mizo is giving them a lot of damage, and the Firak armor has been popped along with the electrifying beats from the Joy, giving them a lot of damage. With the last sanity has been used up from Valentina. He wants to take the kill onto that Kimi, but he won't be able to take the kill. The Pit seems to be in some dire position. The Valentina with the skills just poking the Pit out of that position.
That was just a messed up team fighting. The perfect engage coming in from Team ZOHUNT along with that Chip. The tides are being disoriented for Team Eliminators this time, because they had the only perfect start in the previous game, but this time it seems like in some trouble. Shaman Force being used along with that Vengeance, but there is the 3-man. It's the Kaja securing a kill. That is really going down with the damage coming in from Crisis. Sufficient enough to take down that win. Meanwhile, being some situation, but that Joy making the plays and securing a double kill. Might go for triple, but no, will be disengaging as of now. Meanwhile, Kaja is still there, trying to make sure he gets someone. He do have the divine judgment with him right now.
Oh my god, the position and the rotation coming in from the crazy is just insane. The Suzumi is getting caught up back again. He still doesn't have the primal wrath with him to escape. And we can see Sailor Moon just casually poking him with the fire missiles coming in from him. And if we see onto the top side, I do think like from the side of Team Eliminators, they just felt the revenge play coming in from them. And the Team Zohunt along with electrifying beats coming in from Loopsy just caused them the 3 people to die.
Lucy is just doing his best, making sure he gets the squishy targets out in the team fight first. Because technically speaking, like there is only the Edith along with that Xpog who would be like a bit tanky and would be the front liner for team eliminators. But again, that is not the case because both of the front liners for team eliminators are not there in the team fight. And this time for Loopsy, he has the perfect opportunity to grab and punish the 3 members that is the Crisis, the Kimmy along with that Bid.
And also, both the teams, they're playing so disciplined. If you see, none of them have lost any turret at all. They're just playing very defensively and very disciplined gameplay from both of the teams. Meanwhile, onto the bot side, they're looking onto the engage, onto Suzumi again. There's Xbox giving a lot of vision for his team, but they're just hidden inside the bush. The crazy would most probably just use the portal to bring his whole team onto that turtle. Meanwhile, we can see Dusty Mizo. He's just poking that Suzumi at this point, but the portal has been used up from Chip as we thought, and the turtle contest was back into the process, and Sailor Moon secures the turtle for himself, raising to it, just giving a lot of damage along the penalty zone coming in from the Dusty Mizo. The last sanity has been used up from the Valentines, giving a lot of damage, and we secure the kill onto that Suzumi. And Sailor Moon, he barely escapes with the black shoes from himself.
This time it was quite a quick fix. It was a 3v5 situation right away with the help of Chip. I mean, there were only 2 members of Team Zoo and within the ultimate from that Chip, the portal coming in online at the total pit, making sure his whole team is up there and, making sure the team fight is under their favor. The bottom tower, tier 1 will be going down as Prime along with that Valentina will be making sure to take it away. Meanwhile, Crisis is getting this time too much of this, whatever we say, the position from that Kimmy.
And also onto the mid side, electrifying beats used as a damage, but never mind, there was Xbox to just zone him out of the position. And Chip, he wants to go for an engage. He's just looking for a push to make for himself so that he could just land a good portal for his team to land onto themselves and just give a lot of damage with the team fight. And also we can see Suzumi, everyone is just moving on to the mid side because they don't want to lose that mid at this point. And Bid just casually just revealing the position of the win and the prime.
Dusty Mizo this time looking for an engage. Perfect penalty zone connecting down 2 or 3 members this time, but again he is waiting for the opportunity. Meanwhile, look at that Claude. He's just in the bottom side because he knows like they have the chip, so he could be in the team fight. But again, this time Dusty Mizo in some dire situation. Diamond judgment being used, and it will be the Xbox taking down the kill. The portal being used, but that is coming in from that Xbox. I don't think so. They should be considering that, but look at that. Away between the 5 members of Team Eliminators, making sure he gets that Xbox. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, I managed to take down second tier of bottom lane. Meanwhile, in the mid section, we might be in some trouble, but there is the ultimate. Oh, that is the primal wrath from that Edith.
And he's actually being clever at this point. The win, he knows whose ultimate he needs to steal because the Primal Wrath is the only damage item. But meanwhile, on the bot side, they're trying to melt the Lord within seconds. And I do think so. It's going to be totally no contest. And the Loopsy decides to just take the Lord for him along with his team. And if you look onto the position of that Chip, he's ready with the portals for that Harit or even Lilia to just arrive over there and give a lot of setup. Meanwhile, onto the mid side, Dusty Mizo, he's just getting poked by that damage coming in from the Harit as well as that Lilia.
Look at the position coming in from Chip. He is just waiting in the top grass push, making sure he gets 1 member, whoever comes it to the top lane. It'll be either Edith or that Harith along with that Kaja.
That is true, and the Claude and the Chip, they're just waiting for someone to come over there onto the mid side. They want to force and take the mid, but the onward foot given to that Dusty Mizo is looking for a setup. They're giving a lot of damage, and the primal rifle he most probably just forced up. And yes, it is. He doesn't have the primal rifle for the next 40 seconds, and Chip is patiently waiting for there. He just wants to land that portal for his team. Meanwhile, onto the top side, the Claude has taken the tier 2, but the portal is perfectly connected with the last sanity and the blazing duet coming in from the Claude. It's going for the double kill, and Chip falls into the hands of the Claude. Win secures the kill as well as the monster kill coming onto that Loopsy and the Harit. 4 people are down only in one team fight. I don't know how will be Seramoon able to defend this Lord. And the Divine Judgment just connects perfectly onto that Xbox, just taking the immortality for himself with the Priyanka armor around the last sanity. Is there to just, but nope. Justice Mizo just secures the kill onto that Xbox and it's going to be the wipeout.
Damn, man, oh man, that game and the team fight coming in from Team ZOHUNT was just too perfect. And within that team fight with that level 1 Lord, they'll be managing to take that victory, balancing down the score 1-1.
Oh my god, the payback. The payback is just casually given back to the team eliminators. Team Zohunt, they're just showing via then quarterfinals. And the joy. It was a really clever decision to just make that Winter Crown that joy because after using the electrifying beats, the electrifying beats will just go on, but the Winter Crown will just give him the immune to the damage all to him just casually just coming from that Kaja as well as that crisis. It was a really clever decision, Sasuke, but the team fights, it was the most deciding factor into the last the team fight. It was really brutal for them to handle.
That is true. That is true. And I mean, I have to say that Joy was just too slippery between the 5 members of Team Eliminators, even though the Kaja could not use his ultimate to catch down that slippery Joy.
That is true. Like if you look onto the KDA, to be fair, the KDA actually doesn't matter because both the teams they tried really hard to just get a gank onto each of the gold laners. And the Claude, he hasn't died in any team fight. The KD, he's just going as like casually 208.
That is true. And again, this is it for the game number 2. We'll be back after the short break for the game number 3. The score is quite balanced 1-1. This time, Team Zohunt making sure they gets a balance off for the score.
And welcome back, viewers, to the Legends Unleashed tournament. We're in our third quarterfinals, and this is game three between Team Eliminators and Zohunt, both doing a really great job. Right now, the score is neck and neck. It is one
Who said
and
there are no
one.
shortcuts in
And
life?
I'm your
I
caster, Ball
literally
213,
invented one.
joined by my friend Fredo on the casting deck. Fredo, welcome. And what do you think we're going to be seeing in game three?
Well, the first and the
I see
second
lots
game
of
were very
prey.
nice and
Your
very head to
team
head,
is
and
banning.
just now the team Zohunt have levels, so I think it will be a very exciting match to watch.
And what do you think would what are the bans they should, make sure to, they should not miss out on for the side of both teams?
As we can see that Roger has just been banned because both of the teams have very good Roger players, so we can expect we already have the Roger ban now. And in the last game, we saw how chip was very crucial for the team fights as well, so that's why they have banned the chip as well. So let's see what we can guess next.
And maybe we might be looking at a Zask ban or a Ling Hayabusa. These are the standard bans we're seeing in this meta.
My
The
mission
Terizla is there.
is to protect
But
Your
no,
lives.
they've
team
taken out
is
the
banning.
Hylos, the glorious pathway that is an absolute menace to, deal against in a team fight, because he doesn't just speed up his own teammates, he gets sustain onto himself. At the same time, he slows down the opponents who are trying to disengage or even join the fight.
Yeah, especially after the update of the Thunderbelt and as well as the Clock of Destiny, we have seen that Hylos has become very powerful because of these two items. And Hylos is a very meta hero right now, so I think it's a safe ban to say.
Exactly, that is a fair point. That meta is something like people always say, why are you a meta slave? But at the same time, that meta is the reason, because these heroes are picked the most is because they're
Your
winning the
team
most
is
or
banning.
they're having the most impact in a team fight. And meanwhile, the Zohunt has taken out, Crazy Psycho has banned out this Terizla. Both teams are taking a good amount of time with the bans because they want to make sure neither team gets that head up in that overall score. They want to take their time, they want to think through this draft. And I think that's a smart decision. Why do you need to rush your draft when you can plan out your entire comp?
Yes. Actually, this Terizla ban is a very good ban because the way Terizla's penalty zone has been, disturbing both the enemies in all the games has been it's a big menace for both the teams. So that's why they have banned Terizla this time. And it's okay. We
Your
can see a
team
Zask
is
ban coming up
banning.
right now, which is another very safe ban to say. And let's see what we can expect next because last game we saw a Moskov and that Moskov played very well. And I think they will pick this Moskov again, I guess, the Eliminators.
I don't know, maybe if they're going to take a Moscow or any kind of marksman, we could also see a Ruby ban, because both teams, can run this. They both are
My
very,
floor
very
is
and
born
fully
by
capable of
Your
running a
team
double
is
fighter. But no,
guided
they've taken
by
out
lantern's
that
light.
Zuzhin, that soul flare, the soul snare stacks that
Your
it
team
adds
is
along with the
picking.
lantern. Lantern's call is just really annoying to dodge. That hero is just an absolute menace to deal with, especially as a
No
melee
one can take you
frontliner.
from me.
Because as a roamer, you can't really. Her damage is not that much at the start, but she keeps poking you and annoying you. And with that, you
Yeah,
kind of end up losing the fight.
yeah, similar to what Layla does, especially in late game when you go
Hmm.
near as a tank player, when I play tank, sometimes when I go close to a Layla in late game, the Layla just, finishes
I
half
am
of
the
my HP
priestess of
before I can even
primal
get close
lightning,
to her.
the hunter
So
of
I know
all
that
evil
thing.
As a
gods.
Your team snowflake's is breath.
Yeah,
picking.
exactly. It's like a
As
small touch, but
timeless as a
that's it, and you
glacier's
disappear.
heart.
Meanwhile, it's the Edith, the first pick by the Eliminators, by Crisis. He has taken up that Ruby, a really hotly
It's
contested
not
pick,
every day you see
especially by
such a
Bengal
handsome
server
dragon
players. That
tamer
hero
like
is
me.
almost a must right now in the Bengal server, being a very, very highly picked and contested hero. Meanwhile, on the other side, Dusty Mizo and Win have locked in on that Edith with her Primal Wrath, and the frigid glacier of Aurora will be entering the land of Dawn on this side of Zohan. Serarman and Suzumi. Right now, Suzumi is hovering over Badang, but Serarman has locked in on that Ling. Do you think the
I
Tempest
will
of
choose
Blades
my
is
own
worth,
path.
is
Your
Ling the
team
best
is
assassin
picking.
against an Aurora? And why would that be?
Well, Link, so to say, is a very mobile hero and it can counter, heroes which do not have much mobility. But Link pick in this meta is actually not the best pick to say, but you can still, you know, make use of its mobility to take out objectives and take out the backline as well. So we can see the remaining of the match to find out if Ling will actually be a good hero. And as you also know that Kimi was a very good Kufra player in the last match, the second last match. So I will really be eager to see what Kimi can do in this game as well.
Exactly. Kimi is really strong with his roam picks, able to bring up a lot of utility. And right now, with the draft so far, it is clear that team eliminators will be going for a double fighter strat because Crisis will probably be taking that Ruby into the gold lane, and Suzumi will probably be taking a semi tank build on the Thunderbelt Dormice builds which Arlot's favor instead, or like, do you like the Flicker Arlot or the Petrify Arlot in a solo queue game? What would you prefer?
If I was playing a solo queue game, then I would probably prefer a Flicker Arlot so that I can escape out of the situations. But if I was on the XP lane, then I will probably prefer a Petrify to go 1v1 against heroes if I can take them out easily. But here we can see that the enemy has a carry. So will Vengeance be a good spell here for the frontliners?
Like, while Vengeance is a solid option, the main issue is I don't think the Vengeance actually reflects the true damage tick of Carry's passive. In a way, it doesn't do that. It doesn't reflect it as a part of magical damage back, which is an issue they'll have to account for. So maybe we might see Kimmy locking on to the Lolita because it's a really good pick over here. The Lolita will be able to reflect not just the carries light wheels, but it'll also be able to reflect the primal wrath basic attacks of this Edith. So I think Lolita is a good option because you already have two frontliners.
Yeah, you are right about it. Lolita is a very good option here. But if we think about it, then will Ling be able to take out this carry because the carry has a Purify, and Purify won't give carry much mobility to be able to escape from the Ling's Tempest of Blades. So what do you think about that?
True that, but at the same time, I think she's relying on the teammates because that Aurora's CC combo is there. You have Edith, so Link can't just dive in without any kind of worry because the Purify is actually there for that Ruby and Arlord because both of them have Flicker sets. You have the Flicker I'm offended and the Flicker Final Slash plays coming out. Meanwhile, the bans from both sides are the Kufra and the Hayabusa, both which are players, especially the Kufra. I thought Kimi would be picking up that Kufra, but he says no. Meanwhile, on the side of ZOHUNT, it's the Carmilla that is taken out. The Curse of Blood will be an absolute traumatic experience for any team that is dealing against it. And the Valentina, because they don't want to give any of these amazing ults on the map to the side of eliminators. Because imagine, dude, if the Valentina is on this picked up by Bid, how much havoc he could wreak right now.
Yeah, that's true. Valentina has been a very annoying hero for the enemy right now. And is he actually going to pick God? Why is he showing God again and again? It's funny to me that he's showing God again and again. Okay.
And
Okay,
he has actually picked up God.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
he
is he going
has.
to pick
I've
God?
seen.
Oh my god, this is insane. I have never seen this before.
Yeah.
I
In
was
fact,
just
I was actually casting one of the previous games in the lower rounds, in the qualifier rounds. It was round 2 or 3, I guess. And Bid had picked up the god, and he had an excellent performance onto that god. Like, it was a MVP performance. If I am remembering correctly, it was an MVP performance, and we hope to see an MVP worthy performance from Bid once again. As so far, there is almost nobody who can, like, dive into the back safely to reach this god. So
that's
now, it is up to Loopsy, guys, who has to lock in some kind of assassin hero who can actually dive into the back to, reach this god. And now Loopsy, who is a really strong assassin player, will be picking up the joy to complete the draft on both sides, with Kimi taking up that Matilda. So whose draft do you like more, Fredo? Like, who do you think, like, who's your favorite draft in this game?
I think in this game, I will go for the draft of the ET team, the Ling. I will support the Ling here because in this game, this draft can dive as well as, they can come out as well because of the Matilda. So that's a very big factor which will help this team right here, the mobility factor. And I wanted to ask you something. We
Go on.
usually see Beleric being banned or being picked during ranked games in Glory this season, but why do you think Beleric has never been used in the pro scene?
Welcome to Mobile Legends!
He is not used in the pro scene firstly because
5 seconds
he
till the enemy
he
reaches
doesn't
the
work well with a
battlefield.
flicker.
Smash
If you
them!
but at the same time,
All troops
his
deployed!
taunt is impossibly hard to land. At the same time, it just does not give. It's not easy to land in the first place. At the same time, it's not worth it because right now almost every hero is going to be running a DHS of some kind. They have a lot of melt. So even if you have a lot of HP, like which Beleric does, it is pointless because you need to land a basic attack to even secure a heal. So the hero is not great outside of team fights. It's hard to open up vision with him in the early game because he gets melted on fast. If the opponent is, a semi tanky one, Beleric struggles. And right now we're into the land of Dawn with the land of Dawn. Both lanes are facing off against each other. Ruby actually will have a little issue, leaning against this carry because of those light wheels doing so much damage through the path.
We can see that Ruby's HP is lower to almost half of it, but he has recovered it because of the passive. And in the middle lane, we can see some pokes going on from Aurora. And Joy has already rotated towards the goal lane and he's level 4 already. Okay, but they have decided to disengage. What do you think will
And
happen at the EXP lane?
I think in the EXP lane, Edith should be able to win. But the issue is it is not a 1v1 because the early game of ZOHUNT is really weak. Apart from this, Joy, even Joy herself needs scaling. So the only issue with Loopsy guys and team is that they need up to the 8th minute mark to actually start scaling and giving good damage. Until then they are a little they're squishy. They don't have enough output. Like look at that, Aurora landed a full combo of her S1 S2 and it barely took out half her HP, half of this Arlot's HP. And Arlot has not even made too much tank. He's on a common emblem. And right now Edith has got her S2 on, displacing this Suzumi. Will Suzumi be forced to use his flicker? No, he doesn't. The final slash was there, but was interrupted. He's landing his final slash.
Wow.
To secure a first blood. Bid using his usual ult, but he gets poked out by this Aurora. Ling is right there. Sararmon using his S2 turn. Tempest of Blade popped. He is picking up a kill, but he's CC chained under this turret. Loopsy guy secures a kill onto Ling. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Crisis picks up a solo kill against this carry. Wow, there was a lot of action, man.
There was a lot of action which we could not cover in one say. And as we can see, Ruby has been dominating the carry. Even though carry was poking early in the early game, but now Ruby has taken the first blood in the goal lane. Now we are seeing the turtle fight, but
yeah, dude, Fredo, despite the jungler falling on the side of eliminators, there was just no Lord zoning from the side of Zohunt, and it was a free Lord turtle for this Ling. And meanwhile, Crazy Psycho gets nearly poked down with the ult from Bid once again. Bid's damage is just too strong. You can't ignore that hero. And it's also impossible to catch him outside of this Joy. And right as I speak, a beautiful combo from Aurora, but he just doesn't have any damage, man. He landed a full combo and there's no damage.
yeah, that's true. They have increased the damage of Aurora in the recent update, but I don't know why. The damage is still not enough. Maybe because of the talent which Aurora has chosen. Maybe if it was the burn emblem, then it would have been able to melt the gods. What
That
do you think?
is possible. And the thing is, both the mages nowadays are sticking to Wilderness Blessing in many games I've seen because they want to rotate as fast as possible to the necessary lane. And that crazy psycho at the bot lane trying to find a gank, trying to create a dead bush, but his Matilda is there to bail him out. But let's see, will they commit on to this Ruby? but I don't think it is worth it because he will sustain anyway. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
on the top side, Loopsy guy is trying to wait for Dusty Mizo to give him a set, but I don't know if we will find one. Serar Moon is there to back out. Final slash popped on. He's right there. Will he dive in? Yes, he dives in. Flicker used up by this Edith. Loopsy, Primal Wrath popped up. Will Serar Moon try to commit onto the kill? Blaze with the bit with a huge amount of damage. And
that was a very good engage right there.
And I don't think it's a great start for Loopsy guys and teams because the more they die, the slower they scale. And right now, that carry is there trying to do some damage onto Suzumi. Will he be able to sustain? Yes, he does. Carry picks up a kill, but Suzumi picks up a kill. Carry does not pick up a kill. Suzumi instead picks up the kill onto Crazy Psycho. Right as soon as he does that, he gets popped by Win on this Aurora. It is not as I said, it was a great start, but Zohunt is making a good comeback, trying to do as much damage as possible. In fact, even Bid gets popped out, but the solo kill by Loopsy guys who drove onto him, he was unable to escape. And the turtle has been started. I guess this will be a turtle, but it was slightly, reset by their own team, but they were able to get it safely.
Yeah, just a minute back, I saw Ruby and Ling getting their first items, Berserker Fury and War Axe. So that played a very huge role in the scaling of this team. As we can see, a fight is going on right now, and Ling has taken down Carry. Like I told you before, Ling was going to target Carry.
And it was a difficult situation for Prime to escape from. And right now, that Aurora is just clearing the lane for her fallen teammate, trying to keep these turrets alive. Right now, the main key for Zohunt is to not lose lane pressure because if they get pressurized on their lanes, they will farm slower and they will not be able to reach their ideal, damage scaling within time. Right now, Suzumi is an absolute menace. Bid uses his ult but fails to secure a hit on absolutely anything. Right now, Suzumi trying to, zone away this carry, and carry is just gonna be able to hold on. Right now, not much action happening on the map. Matilda has picked up her flask of the Oasis, so she will bring up a lot of heal to her team. So, they have to be careful when diving onto anybody. And right now, this carry got final slashed away under the opponent's turret, but she was still able to make it out. The 4 people from Zohunt are there, but they failed to siege down this turret. Suzumi and Kimi were enough to protect this turret.
That was a successful gang coming from Zohunt. But let's see if they can still try to come back, even though the goal difference is increasing slowly and slowly. It's about to reach 2K right now.
And what do you think about this, Joy? Oh, right now as we speak, the Kimi is diving. Kimi and the team are diving onto this crazy psycho who's forced to use his flicker. And that's a really great bait out by the team of Eliminators. As right before the turtle, they've baited out the flicker of this Minotaur, so it's gonna be much harder for him. In fact, they've even baited out the Frigid Glacier of Aurora, so there's 2 very important ultimates, 2 really important spells. Rina, beautiful set by Edith, but she's gonna get picked off. The Primal Wrath not enough to keep her alive. Bit popping his ult, and with that, Crazy Psycho gets killed by Suzumi, but he gets popped immediately by this Prime. A beautiful stun by this Ruby, but she secures the kill onto Prime as he fails to escape, and 3 people down on the side of Zohunt. Eliminators only losing 1. Frido, do you think they will be able to make a comeback?
Man, they are just putting up such a show, man. I mean, I can't believe my eyes just now. The team fight which just happened, the coordination which they put out, man, that's some top level gameplay right there. That's some top level coordination and cooperation which they have. I mean, this kind of sync is very hard to find in players these days.
Exactly, and we have such a high quality of players throughout this entire quarterfinals in the Legends Unleashed tournament. So viewers, please like, share and subscribe. And meanwhile, Tempest of Blade being popped, he baits out so many skills, but it is all for naught as he gets down. Serarman picking up the kill onto.
And let's see what's happening. Okay, so Loopy guys is at the top lane, and he's clearing his lane, and there is some pressure on the top lane, and no one is okay. Ardot is going to clear the lane right now. Crazy Psycho, He's trying to get some vision in the mid lane. Can they take out Ruby? Can they take out Ruby right now? Okay, Ruby knows. Ruby knows what's going
have
on, and
enough
she's going to
damage.
go back inside the turret.
I don't think they have enough damage, man, on right now. They just don't have anybody who can deal that sort of burst damage because even Carrie needs time. She has not got her DHS yet, so she has not even got that anti heal that is really necessary. That Sea Halberd would be quite clutch right now because the Ling heals up, the Matilda gives heal, the Ruby is literally a heal based hero, and even Arlott heals on his Vengeance S2 ticks. So, yeah, they need to build a lot of anti-heal on their team. Right now, they have 3 anti-heals up already, but more will always be needed with the kind of comp both teams are running. And this Lord is up, and no team is seeking to contest it right now. But both teams are trying to move towards the zone. The Edith and the Ling trying to split push, create a favorable environment. And right now, a beautiful hook by Crisis that secures a kill onto this Minotaur. He didn't even get the chance to flicker out due to the continuous CC chain.
I hope after watching this tournament, some people will realize that Ruby is a very good pick these days, which I don't really see while playing in the lower ranks. Okay, Ling has
And right now
secured Lord.
And he picks up a double kill, man. And this Ling is dominating right now with the 425 KDA.
That is okay. Loopy guys. Okay, he went forward, but he came back again.
And that poke from Bid is just too annoying. And a beautiful flicker final slash winter crown play. But he is all alone. And that's a beautiful
Wow.
escape made by Loopsy, guys. An absolute
Wow.
show of class and mechanics as he makes it out alive under the siege of 4 people of the Eliminators.
Loopy guys has been trying his best, but will he be able to carry his team this time? Let's see. Let's find out. His KDA is 302. So I think he can try to make a comeback, but you know, the scaling of enemy team is just way too much.
And right now that mid shield has been popped. In fact, with the Lord marching down and from the top side the minions in place, it looks like, you know, they're gonna be even more turrets taken from the side of Eliminators. They might be trying for this, you know, inhibitor because they have the Lord to tank it for them. But no, they won't because the damage from the Kenny got a lot of damage onto him just now. And the minions marching in. Oh my god, Suzumi made a really poor play. He doesn't have a flicker out, but that beautiful Minnow and Fury done, but there's just not enough damage. And the Frigid Glacier hits absolutely nobody. Aurora having a tough game right now. Just too hard to land any kind of CC on.
Okay, they have taken down a bot lane tower, and we really know how much it hurts when those super minions come. It's very hard to clear them, and the way they push the base is very hard to defend. And with passing of every second, it's getting harder and harder for the Dusty Mizo and for the ZOHUNT team to come back.
And
the
right
goal
now,
difference-
a good CC chain, beautiful CC chain, but that was 3 ults used up to get a kill onto Crisis. But it was a necessary one as he was popping off right now. That is a necessary kill. But right now, those minions are marching down the base. They have to send somebody to clear those lanes. And yeah, right now, with that inhibitor popped down, those super minions are being really problematic for them to manage their lanes.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
God
Bid has only died once. Yeah, exactly. This god has died only once, man, this whole game.
as well as he has just bought a roam item. I think he's going for the dire hit here or something else. What do you think?
Exactly. And right as we speak about this god, he falls down. I feel it's like a caster's curse. The second we're talking about a hero on the side of Eliminators, they are getting chased down and hunted. ZOHUNT hunting down the Eliminators. A very stupid touch of words, but yeah, a play on words. But yeah, I have a bad habit of doing that. Viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bring your friends here as we have another game in store. So Crisis trying to give in some poke, but it's just not enough. Psycho backs out. In fact, right now Psycho has to deal with Ruby, who has made an anti-heal. Ruby has made up a Sea Halberd, so she will be a little annoying for this Minotaur to deal against. the eliminators zoning out their the eliminators are zoning out for their Serrar Moon to land a free retreat. Lupsi guys is all the way in the back, so there's no way they're gonna be contesting. Right now, Minnow and Fury landed. He secures two. Bid falls. Bid does a beautiful ult, picks up a kill, and he has to flicker out in time. Right now, Crisis stuck all alone under the siege. Look at Loopsy guys in the back trying to catch, but no, the Ling escapes. A lot of CC pulled in, but it's only Suzumi who falls from the side of eliminators. And right now they're trying to re-engage with this Matilda. Beautiful I'm offended pop, Purify use, and Crisis is all alone and he will be stuck and he gets picked off by Win. The Aurora's damage is right now picking up, man. The Aurora is doing a lot of damage to the side of the eliminators.
What's this type of showdown right now? Okay. The Ling is going in. The Ling is going in. But okay. He didn't commit right now. They could have ended if Crisis did not die right here. That was a foolish engage from the part of Crisis there.
Also, dude, look at Ling's build. He has made up a Thunderbelt and a Rose Gold Meteor. He has 109 physical, magic defense and 100 physical defense. This is like a semi-tank Ling, man. In terms of the usual Ling builds.
Yeah, that is a very tanky Ling right there. You don't usually see so tanky Ling, and that is the reason why he has a KD of 4 to 6 only, because the enemy has not been able to burst him down easily like they thought they would have.
And meanwhile, Suzumi has picked up a Winter Crown, so the ZOHUNT's team must be careful, as Suzumi might try to use himself as bait to clump them up for Bit to land a devastating ult.
Yep, you are right about that. He can bait out their skills and try to land a very nice ult. And we don't see any action right now other than clearing of lanes from both the teams. Crisis is.
I actually expected them to freeze the lanes, man, but both teams are not trying to freeze the lanes in any manner.
Yes, they are not trying to freeze the lanes. They keep on clearing the lanes, and the blue buff. I think there can be an engage. 5 people are here at the blue buff. Okay, they are taking out the blue buff and trying to poke them out. Okay,
and a flicker
goes in.
has to use. Frigid Glacier being popped. He fails to catch anyone, but right now that I'm offended flicker use a beautiful primal wrath, but the Ling is able to disengage in time. But right now Suzumi going really low, and he gets popped out by Prime on this god. The god and picks up this Dusty Mizo's kill, and Edith has to fall. They are re-engaging on to Zohan. Killing spree picked up by this Ling. Flicker being used by this Aurora, and she will fail to escape as a passive has been popped up and she gets killed. Double kill picked up, and it is almost a wipeout. It's just Loopsy guys against the world, and he will have to force himself to do some damage, but he is left alone. I don't think he can even clear the minions. The minions marching in from 2 complete waves. He is all alone, and a Winter Crown play pop, but they're just ignoring him. The immortality is also used, a beautiful item swap, but it's just not enough as he finally gets shut down. And with that, the Aegis will fall. Edith is trying, but it is not enough. And game 3 goes in the hand of the eliminators as they completely wiped out the side of ZOHUNT in that last team fight. And the MVP is taken up by Serrar Mun on that Ling. 629, a beautiful performance, securing the kills when it was most needed by his teams. It was a forgettable performance for Dusty Mizo as they end up with a KD of 157. But despite the KD, they had a great amount of play. The only reason Suzumi and Crisis even died was because of that continuous lockdown by this Edith. So fair play to them, but they will have to go back into the drawing board and come up with a plan, with a draft to secure game 4 for them, because if Eliminators takes home the next win, it'll be 3-1 and they will advance to the semis.
No or die situation for Zohan right now. Let's see. for everyone in rank this season, and that's why Zask has been banned as well. And of course, the Zushin ban as usual, as we can see. And this time, I really want to see the Kufra from Kimi, because Kimi's Kufra just made me a fan of Kimi from the last 2 games, and I just can't wait to see Kimi's Kufra again. What do you think will be their plan? Will they try to, will they try to win this game somehow, or do you think they are just going to give it up without a fight this time again, just like the last game? Because it seemed like they were throwing the game last game.
Exactly. And I won't say throwing, but or that they're giving up without a fight. It is more of that they were not synchronized. Like that Edith was doing their job trying to catch, but at the same time the draft was just not there for the side of Zohunt. In the previous game, they had so much CC, but there was no damage. There was no burst damage. Edith takes 5 seconds to finish her full combo. Aurora's burst is not there. Neither is the Minotaur gonna do damage for you. The only damage dealer is the carry, who needs to up till 10 minutes before she builds her items, and she needs to hit someone for a while, and that is not going to be possible because you have a Ruby there, you have an Arlot, so it was a very tough situation. And even Lubzi, who was doing a beautiful job despite the thing, is no longer playing the previously OP Joy, because the previous Joy was CC immune during her beats dance, but right now she's just immune to slows. But they had a lot of hard CC, so he was not able to dive in deep. And meanwhile, on the ban side, the bans are pretty much the same. It's the Ruby, Zask, and the Terizla. It is the Roger, Zuzhin, and the Chip. Nothing much to say about it. Really strong meta picks and constantly, pick up. So they have been taken out because of the utility they bring to this game.
Decided to go with the lane which was picked by the ET team last time. And as we can see, a Valentina pick right here, because Valentina is a copy hero, and if they pick anything, then they will be able to counter it. So that's why the Valentina pick is a very wise pick to
I
say.
am the priestess of primal lightning. The hunter
And
of all
as we
the
can see,
evil
another Edith
gods.
pick here. Do you think Edith will work in this game? Because in the last game it was a complete flop. But in this game, do you think Edith will be a good pick right here?
And I think the Edith is a really strong pick because she's able to win her lane. At least, if not win, she's going to prevent a lane domination on her end, because the hero does both physical and magic damage, which is just really, really, really annoying to lane against. As an EXP laner myself, I hate to lane versus an Edith, because I can't just make the dreadnought armor and be done with life. Like I can't do that because she does both. And in a primal rush, she becomes a full magic dealing marksman. Magic dealing damage marksman. Magic damage dealing. Jesus, I'm stuttering. But on that note, speaking of magic damage dealing gold laners, we have the Harith picked up on the side of Zohunt. I'm excited this Harith, but the force will be something really, really for the team. Because he can play really well with Lubzi.
Okay, your voice is having a lot of issues actually. So let me just cover it for them. Maybe what he was trying to say is Harith was very good. Harith, we have not seen Harith in a very long time, and Harith pick, will it be good here? I think that's what he wanted to say here, was it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I hope it's clear now.
Yeah, actually, Harith. Actually, I have not seen Harith in a very long time, because after its nerf, people have stopped picking Harith anymore. But Zohunt has, decided to pick Harith and go against. Are they picking Harith as a mid laner or a gold laner? Preferably a gold laner here, so that it will go against the Moskov. Or are they going to use the
And
Harith as a mid lane here? What do you think?
I think this Harith will be going in a gold lane because Prime was the one playing gold for them the past 3 games, and he's the one locking it. So it is a 90% it'll be a gold lane, because if you take Harith in the mid lane, they will not have any CC with them. So I think they should right now. They have a really strong pick. They have Dusty on his Lapu, a really, really solid player. But right now, they need CC. They need crowd control. They need a front line. They need someone to open up the map for them. because if they don't do so and they take some kind of support which is squishy, Loopsy guys will have a lot of trouble. So will Prime, because they might just invade their jungle. They just might jump into the turret. They will turret dive and nothing can really stop them. Meanwhile, on the bans, Kimi has banned out his Kufra and he doesn't want it to be, he doesn't want to face it from Crazy Psycho. Aurora being taken out, and looks like the Aurora was a lot more problematic than we casters thought, because they respected that hero enough to ban it out.
Yeah, and I really have to talk to Kimi after this game, I guess, because he has not been letting me watch his Kufra game for a while now, which is a very annoying thing for me as a caster. So let's see if Kimi can play
Upon the
Kufra
edge
again
of the
if
void.
Zohunt can win this game, or will I be left here hanging to watch Kimi's Kufra again? Okay, they have picked up the Nolan here. Nolan is a very good hero, which is a very fast, farming, fast farm. He can farm very fast, and he can also rotate very quick. But will it be useful here? Maybe they have banned the Kufra to pick the Nolan here actually. But what can we expect from a Nolan here? Because they also have heroes with very high mobility and dash, so they can dash away from the fractures to escape the damage from Nolan.
Exactly. So this Nolan has to, rely on his team's TC, the stuns and the CC to, actually ensure his fractures actually explode on a target and not after they escape out. So Serarman luckily is with a team of really beautifully, talented players, really mechanical players, well coordinated players. So we will be seeing a great game from both teams. Meanwhile, Crazy Psycho and Win finishing up the draft of Zohant by securing that Grok and Loi. The diversion will be coming into great clutch if used right. That wild charge of this Grok, if done right, can actually bait out this Nolan's ults. But at the same time, Valentina has so many good ults for her. She has a Tempest of Blades to immune. She has a diversion. She has a Nature's Charge. And Kimi on Rome has picked up the Mincetar. The King's Calling will be clutch. His anti-blink skills will be really good to lock down this Ling and this Harith. But luckily, Harith has a Purify, so he can walk out from this, CC chain. But let's see. What do you think, Frida? Who's gonna win this game, in your opinion?
Don't know who is going to win this game because both the compositions are really good. But the one thing which I can say is this will be a very nice game to watch because there are a lot of heroes which can change the entire game in one move. Like as you just said, like the diversion of Louis, and there is the King's Calling of Mensithar. So there are a lot of skills, and even Valentina who can copy the ults of enemy heroes and change the game entirely in just one move. So there's a lot to expect here in this game, and let's see what we can do. Let's find out.
And right now, in the land of Dawn, both teams are starting off with their camps. They're clearing it up really fast. Kimi trying to be a menace and stealing some farm from the side of, the Zohunt's farm. But luckily, he has Prime, who has caught it out before this happens. Crazy Psycho is mirroring the movements of Kimi to ensure they do not get too far ahead.
Yes, you're right there. And as you can see, Nolan has already farmed a lot as compared to Ling, who is still in his on his red buff. And will Nolan be able to get an early level 4 and secure something for the team right here? And okay, Moskov has decided to complete his shoes first. That's interesting.
And a really great reposition by that Lapu as he was able to dodge out the entire damage combo of that Nolan. Meanwhile, Nolan clearing up his farm, trying to reach that level 5. But right now, Ling popping his Tempest of Blades. Purify used. A beautiful stun by this Moskov as he's able to escape out with his life. Loopsy, guys, fails to secure a kill onto that Moskov. Man, I thought it would have 100% been a kill. But his Moskov gameplay is just world.
That insane stun coming from his second skill was enough to give him enough time to escape from the damage of Ling. That was an insane outplay by Crisis right there. Okay, and Nolan has started the turtle already, and the team of Zohunt has not even arrived at the turtle yet. Okay, the wall has just reset at the turtle. for the team. It is a very bad. It is a very bad thing to happen to the team of ET right now.
But
Okay,
you
we'll know.
know that
The King's Calling has the King's Calling has locked down Win, and Win has to go down to this turtle as well. And okay, team fight is going on. Ling with his Tempest of Blades, and can he take out the Valentina right now? Oh no, that was not possible. And Ling is he still going to go in? Yes, Ling. Oh my God, that was a narrow escape for the Nolan right there. That was a very narrow escape. It's a 0 HP escape for the Nolan.
And right now, both, the entire team of Eliminators making it out with a sliver of HP. Meanwhile, on the gold side, nothing too interesting happening. But Prime has a slightly better laning experience as he's ahead in gold and experience. Meanwhile, Psycho is near the blue buff and he has not been spotted out yet. So maybe he could pull up something really interesting when they try to invade, but luckily he the crazy psycho does not want to stay too long. The Grok doesn't want to risk his chances against the damage output of a Nolan. He doesn't want to test how tanky he is right now. He wants to wait a little. And with that, Valentina stealing away the wild charge with using her ult, so we will have to watch out. Zohunt has to watch out for that unexpected wild charge, especially Loopsy, guys. If he goes to die Valentina.
Is there going to be an engage in the gold lane? I really want to see an engage in the gold lane, because I really want to see that Prime can use this Harith really well, because Harith is not even in the meta right now. But I really want to see if Prime has the skills to make this hero meta again. So that will be an interesting thing which I really want to find out in this game.
And right now, look at the camp by the team of ET. Two death bushes set up in back to back. Will Psycho be caught out? He's going dangerously close to that bush. And yes, King's Calling popped out, but that beautiful immune is sufficient to keep him alive. But Win falls, and with that, another kill secured by the side of ET. But right now, Crazy Psycho nearly gets popped out. Wild Charge being used by Bid. Dusty Mizo is there with his damage, but he fails to secure a kill. A beautiful flicker stun use. Tempest of Blade picking up a double kill. Loopsy guy is dominating.
Okay, the turtle will be taken by the Zohunts easily, I guess, this time, because there is no contest from the side of ET. And let's see what's happening. Okay, the Moskov is still waiting in his bush to find out if somebody is waiting for him or camping on him in that bush. He decides to clear the lane. Okay, the blue buff is being stolen by the Ling. The blue buff is being stolen by the Ling. And he is able to steal it very easily and go back to his farming again. And Nolan is losing his farm here. The Zohans have really decided that they have to make a comeback in this game, and they are playing really well here. They already have a 2k easy lead on ET team this time.
With that, I think ET is struggling this time. They're on the opposite end of what they're the subject of their same oppression that they had in the game 3. And really great start. He has not died even once. He has got a few hits on that gold shield, having a great amount of farm. Meanwhile, that diversion play catching him out, but a beautiful King's Calling on 3 people as Loopsy guys get stun locked, but he's able to pop his Tempest of Blades in time, and with that he gets finally killed. Loopsy guys is finally shut down, but 2 kills picked up by Zohunt, and they're still comfortably in the gold lead.
They're still comfortably in the gold lead. Okay. Serar Moon is planning something. Is he going to? Okay, he doesn't commit everything for the Grok right now, and he will go back to his farming again. And on something interesting happening in the EXP lane. Okay, there's a fight going on in the top lane. Okay, the Lapu decides to disengage from that. what is happening right now is that both of the teams are still testing out each other. If somebody decides to commit a little too much and the game is thrown away, both of them are trying to play safe right now. And we can see Lupsi guys has already started the turtle, and Dusty Mizo is zoning out the Minsitar from doing anything. It's preventing him from getting the vision. And Lupsi guys will be able to secure the turtle very easily. Okay, he was caught out in the bush. Okay, there is a very great engage right there from the team of ET, and ET has taken out Lupsi guys. His KDA was 300, and now he's back to 223. He has died 2 times in a very short span of time.
Exactly, within 2 minutes he's fell twice, and right now Crazy Psycho being zoned out. He's forced to flicker out as that primal wrath of Edith is just too much to ignore. Meanwhile, diversion play coming up on top. Win is there, but there is nobody there with him, and a beautiful stun lock combo, and with that, Crisis picks up a kill onto Prime with the help of his teammate Edith on this Suzumi. Suzumi on this Edith. And meanwhile, Dusty Mizo with a beautiful kill, securing that kill onto Bid, who falls once again. His KD is 0-5 for this game. That Nature's Barrier, absolute clutch, baiting out the flicker of Kimi as he has to disengage in this match. And right now, that top lane will most likely be taken up for free by Dusty Mizo as he is going to be pushing away, but not under the watch of Suzumi, as he is trying to go there to ensure their team does not lose any kind of lane pressure and maintain the turret advantage onto them.
That was a nice diversion play, but they could not take the advantage of it. And as we can see, Suzumi has completed his dominance size, so Lapu won't be able to do anything much, even though he was not doing anything much already. And there's nothing much going on right now. But okay, can we see an engage here? See, both the team have decided to not engage anymore because both of them are, I guess, scared of losing this game, especially after the fact that ET will be winning if they win this, and ZOHUNT is putting up a good fight. Okay, Ling using his Tempest of Blade, but okay, that was a very good diversion play. And Ling will be back to farming again. Was that a diversion there actually?
Yes, it was a diversion, a beautiful King's Calling. And with that, the Ling falls down right before this Lord is up. And dude, this is not a great place for Lupsi guys to be in, as he's died 3 times already within 10 minutes as a Ling.
Something has I think he has forgotten to take some of his medicines or something within the break, because of which he has lost his skills or something has happened to Lupsi guys. Come on, Lupsi guys, we really need to see your outplays like the way you showed in the last game here. Okay, a diversion play coming in, and Harith and Louis have teleported in the bush behind the Lord. Are they going to do something from behind right now? Okay, there's a very good wild charge coming in, and the follow-up by the Harith and the Valentina. And Louis, sorry. And Ling with the Tempest of Blades will finish. And Prime has just showed that a hero cannot be meta, but he can play it and he can make a good use of it. Prime just proving that he is Prime.
And right now, that Lord has been started on the side, but the tempo is in the hands of Lupsi guys and team, as they have secured this turtle for themselves for free, picking up a kill onto Nolan with it. Sarar Moon finally falls down. It's his first death in this game, and Suzumi is not having a great game right now. This Edith is 1-4. Not the best KDA to maintain. Meanwhile, Moskov trying to do a little split push, but he doesn't want to take any risk. The risk is always there when you have a Ling jumping from wall to walls, going to opposite lanes in just few seconds.
And it's always Suzumi who is defending these lanes. Whenever I see Suzumi and the camera is pointed at Suzumi, I always see Suzumi defending lanes all the time. And it's a funny thing to say, but I've seen him defending lanes, I think 4 or 5 times every time the camera is pointed on him. Yeah, there is a very big engage right there, but a disengage, as soon as I say engage, from both the teams, they have decided to take back and sit.
And right now, Suzumi chip down this Lord. He doesn't want that Lord to do much, but his team is there. Kimi is there right now. That wild charge being used. Dusty Mizo with his ult, that stun, his full combo lashing out. A three-man's King's calling. Flicker popped out by Prime, and a beautiful, beautiful amount of damage. Loopsy guys trying to secure a kill, but it's only Kimi who falls. Diversion, Yin Yang overturn does a massive amount of damage onto Crisis as he was to send a recall back home. Primal Wrath being popped out by this Edith, but despite all of his efforts, the tier 3 turret of the mid lane finally falls, and ET is not in a great place as the gold lead has gone up to clearly 6k right now.
That is a very good goal lead to have in this game, but I think we should not count out the Moscow yet because of the scaling capacity and the outplays that Moscow can do, especially with the Valentina and the Mincitar, which they have. Because Valentina and Mincitar are very clutch heroes, and if the Valentina, Mincitar, and the Moscow can create something out of nothing here, and we can see Ling trying to engage, but as soon as I say engage, he has disengaged again. Maybe I should keep saying engage again, so that they keep disengaging or something. I don't know why it happens again and again. I really
And
do
right now
expect the
they're
Moscow.
Yeah, dude, this Moskov has to pop out. But luckily, he has not suffered too much. He's died only once. And his gold is still at 9k. He's the only one who has a decent amount of gold on his team. A 4-man wild charge being used up by this Grok. Prime using his damage to secure a kill. The Synchro Fission enough to take a kill onto Kimi. Both the roamers down from both teams. And I think they'll be forced to disengage on both sides. I think both sides got shook up by their damage.
Yes, and we just saw how Moscow was in the backline and doing a lot of damage on the enemy team. That's why they were able to take out the Grok just now. And Grok has not completed his dominance ice yet, so that might be a reason why he was he was a very easy pick out for the enemy team. And I think they are going to try to secure the mid lane turret, tier 1 mid lane turret, and they have been able to secure it. And they will start the Lord immediately. ET is planning a comeback right now, and I think it's happening already. The ZOHUNT team has just thrown off that lead very easily, which they got in the early game.
Grok has stolen this Lord. That Grok with the beautiful flicker wild shot securing that Lord, and with that the tempo goes into the hands of Dusty Mizo and Team ZOHUNT diving in at full force. Serar Man has to back off, but he gets picked up by the diversion. Win picking up a double kill. Loopsy guys is on a roll as he picks up the kill onto the Valentine, and 4 people are down. And it looks like ZOHUNT's team will be getting game 2. The game 4 onto their side. It is a complete wipeout. ZOHUNT's team is making this comeback. They are making it happen. The Aegis is going to fall, and team viewers, we are gonna be having a game 5 in our hands. The score is tied 2-2, and ZOHUNT refuses to give up without a fight.
Stay tuned because we will be streaming the next game as well. So please don't go, guys. Please stay on the stream and keep supporting our channel.
And welcome back, viewers. We are here in game 5 between the Eliminators and Zohunt. It is a deciding game to see which team will advance to the semi-finals and which team will get kicked down to the lower brackets. So both teams are not in any mood to be sent to the lower brackets. So we will be having a really hotly contested fight on this time. Both teams have shown up exceptionally well in the past few games. So stay buckled for a beautifully executed fight. And right now, the first pick is on the side of ET, and they ban out this chip.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see what they do here. And yeah, Kimi will pick up the Kufra this time on
I
my
see
request.
lots of
I
prey.
hope so
Your
because
team
I'm
is
really waiting to
banning.
see his Kufra gameplay again. And they have, as usual, banned out the Chip and the Roger. And before starting the game, I would really like to say that this is a very interesting tournament which has been happening in India, and this is one of the best tournaments in a very long time which has been happening.
Gaze the
So I hope you
stars
guys
and
are enjoying the
see who is
tournament and keep
banning.
supporting this tournament more and more so that such tournaments keep happening and MLBB can grow in India.
And yes, you're right. It has been, a very high quality of gameplay. From the round three itself, teams are coming up with different drafts. We're no longer seeing the same draft. In fact, we are seeing jawhead damage roams winning games. And ABM losing points against teams. LCF losing a point against teams. So it is not. It is something new we're seeing, and we hope to see a lot more. And this tournament is providing a lot more opportunity for not just players but even us casters to actually refine our skills.
Always on
So
the way.
with
Your
that
team
you know
is
with that
banning.
said, we are back into focusing on our jobs, that is casting. So yes, we apologize for boring you viewers, but please look into the bans. We have the Luo E taken out by ET because that Luo E used by Win absolutely shredded the backline of ET didn't even get a chance to get back to their base to defend, because Win was there in the backline using his yin yang overturn to end the match before it really the Lord even spawned in.
Butterflies born by thy
Your
wish.
team is
Guided
banning.
See,
by
and the Matilda
lantern's
ban is a
light.
very good ban right here. Because of the mobility which Matilda provided with Ling, I think the team has not forgotten about it. And that's why they have decided to ban the Matilda. And let's see what is the next ban right now because I'm really expecting them to ban a Terizla or an Edith here. Or a Ruby maybe. Maybe. Do you expect a Ruby ban right now? I think it will be a Ruby ban right now.
It could be the Ruby, or actually more than the Ruby, I would like to see a Ling ban. Both teams have constantly been taking Ling first. I don't want to see a Ling on either team, because it becomes like the jungle lane is almost always the Ling is winning, even though his early game is getting
Your
disrupted.
team is
He still is
banning.
able to pick up. But yeah, the Zask is
Your
still open,
team
and
is
no team wants to
banning.
give the other opponent the Zask, because that Zask is like a solo carry hero at this point in the current meta.
No one can take you from me.
Yes, and I have decided to pick up the Ruby because the Ruby is one of the most safest first pick which you can say. And will the enemy take the Ling because the Ling has been winning and yeah, we hate to see it, but Ling has been dominating the jungle even though he was nerfed. And also the Terizla, which has been dominating on the side lane in this meta, has also been picked up by Zohunt. And let's see what is the next pick, which we can see from the ET team. And ET will be thinking of something so that they can take the revenge. With Zohunt denied them to take the straight victory and made them play another game after winning 2 games. So yeah, let's see what they can pick up. They are deciding on the Aurora right now or the
And
Valentina.
and dude, so far in this matchup, I think, who do you think is the better mid laner
I
amongst
am
the
the
two?
priestess of primal light.
Between Bid
The
and
hunter of
Win.
all the
Like,
evil
do you
gods.
think it's an absolute difference between the two, or is it just because of the draft that one is performing better?
I think Win is. I don't really know which I should say is better because I really don't analyze. I'm not a mid laner, so I really don't know how mid laners work. But as far as my general knowledge is concerned, I think Win has been having a better game because of the support he has been providing. But yeah, you cannot count out Bid as well because he has been creating some very good setups for the team by providing good backup. Okay, as we
You
can
are
see,
right on that
Prime has
part.
picked up. Yes, yes.
And Prime has picked up the Harith. It's like, right now they're using the winning strategy, like what worked for them before. They don't want to change that formula up. And it is that Ling and Harith dual combo, which is once again back to deal crazy amounts of physical and magic damage.
Yes, you are right about what will Serrar Moon think of picking up this time as the hyper? Will he go for Nolan again or is he going to change this time? Let's see.
He could he could go for a Julian, yeah? Maybe a Julian Kane.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by how no team is thinking about Julian right now.
True
Is it
love
because he lacks off in
is
the
like
late game?
blood.
But I think the issue with most of these drafts are, see, right now Crisis, Bid, and Suzumi. Like Bid and Suzumi are still, not Suzumi and Crisis. That is the Ruby and Edith are still okay in the laning. But in terms of team fight, they will have no damage early game. And I don't think you're gonna get to see Kimi play this, Kufra even in the last game because it's been banned out once again by ZOHUNT.
So after Kimi banning his own Kufra, now the enemy team has decided to ban the Kufra because they all know how powerful Kufra is in the hands of Kimi, and Kimi himself knows that he can become someone who is unstoppable with his Kufra. So both of the teams decided to ban the Kufra in each game. Now, coming back to the ban right now, so they have banned Carmilla, Kufra, and Hayabusa. So Serrar Moon, I'm really curious to see what Serrar Moon will be thinking of picking up this time. Because in the last game, the Nolan was not able to do what they expected it to do. But Loopsy guys, even though he had a bad game in the middle where he died 3 times continuously, but after that he was able to make a good comeback because of his team and carry them in the end phase of the game. So are we going to see a Vexana here? That is interesting.
The Vexana potentially could be a really great pick because that Eternal Guard will add a front line to their team along with this Terizla. And right now, it would also provide a little more CC onto them because I have seen Vexanas sometimes catch an entire team of 5 with that Eternal Guard knockup, and that thing does a ton of damage. It does a literal metric ton of damage onto the tanks because it does HP based damage. So which is really effective against the Alpha, Ruby, and the Edith.
Yeah, you are right about that. As well as the first skill of Vexana, which just makes you dance like you are in a Bollywood movie or something. And that is a very funny skill which I think no other hero has in the entire game.
Left undone.
And I will be expecting Vexana to land a very good first skill so we can watch some Bollywood dance as we are all Indians right here.
And yes, on that cheerful note, the bans are complete, and the draft from ET's side is finished. And they've picked up, Kimi has picked up the Minotaur, the Minion Fury, the Minoan Rage will be here. And dude, it is the Franco picked up by Crazy Psycho. Do you think
That
this
is,
Franco will be working? Will this Franco work or no?
I mean, I have only seen Keyboy making Franco work, but let's see if Crazy Psycho can imitate Keyboy's gameplay and make this a very, a special Franco to watch.
And dude, whose draft are you supporting right now? Like whose draft you enjoy more and why?
Right? I really think the team of Zohunt has a better draft actually, because I think this Franco pick will be a very good pick to shut down anyone who tries to come inside and
Welcome to
try to gank,
Mobile
especially the
Legends!
Edith. I think it will be very easy to shut down the Edith or the Ruby
5
when they try to
seconds till
make
the
plays.
enemy reaches the
So that will be
battlefield.
one thing to watch
Snatch
out.
them!
And Franco
All troops
will be able
deployed!
to annoy the enemy, because Franco is really an annoying hero, and it will be a very very interesting thing to watch out in this game, this Franco pick, because I've only seen in the pro scene I've only seen Keyboy making this Franco work with his Onyx team, but right now Crazy Psycho has picked up this Franco, which is not the usual thing which any team will do. So let's see how this Franco turns out for them.
And look at that. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Crazy Psycho really trying to annoy the opponent and delay his farm. And look at that. Crisis is rotated in, and he's forced the flicker out on win already. And I think that is a victory you need. It's a small win for them. And look at that. We might be seeing a potential invade. Loopsy guys is being zoned away from his own jungle. He does not have the retribution, and he pays for that, as Serar Moon has invaded him as early as in the minute 1 itself. And Loopsy guys is just level 3 finally. It is not a good start for a jungler, especially the Ling without his blue buff.
That is a very bad start for Loopsy guys at this point, but we are seeing some pokes from Terizla onto the Edith in the EXP lane, and Edith will be losing some of its HP. And Loopsy guy has not been able to reach level 4 yet, even though it's about to be 2 minutes already. And that is a very big disadvantage for the turtle fight for ZOHUNT in this game. Even though Ling has been winning the last 2 matches, but in this game the Ling has been shut down in the early game. But let's see if Loopsy guys can do something and make a comeback in the late game. Okay, for the turtle fight, they are ready.
Right now,
Ling has stolen the turtle, and just like I said, Ling will be planning a comeback, and with his Tempest of Blades, he has been able to take out Suzumi. What do you think of
and
Prime
dude, right
here?
now, Prime is having, I think he has a really comfortable laning phase. It is going to be really hard to catch him. He also has the Purify. So I think he should be able to, at least he won't be able to dominate in the early, but he will also not be harassed in any manner. He has a good amount. At least Ling is finally getting his blue buff here. So I think Prime will be scaling comfortably into the mid game. And by minute 8, we can expect to see a good amount of damage using his Zaman Force and Synchro Fusion. Meanwhile, on the top side, dude, that Terizla's ult by Dusty Mizo was beautiful because of his 3 to 4, I think it was 4-man penalty zone. He was able to, the Loopsy guys was able to get a free retribution onto his side. And look at that Crazy Psycho trying to catch out the Suzumi. Suzumi uses a flicker to dodge the Eternal Guard on point, but he's all alone. And Loopsy guys will dash away with his fast hands to secure a kill onto this Edith. And Edith is already 2 kills, 2 deaths in just 4 minutes of the game. And I hope it is not like the previous game you were mentioning, Fredo, that every time the camera points to him, he's clearing lanes. But I hope this time every time the camera points to him, he doesn't end up respawning. So I think it's some kind of caster's curse.
Pointing on him, and the second turtle is about to spawn, and everyone is gathered right here to take the turtle, and both of the hypers are taking their buffs at this point. But Serar Moon has reached the turtle faster, and will he start the turtle or will he wait for Ling to arrive as well? Will Ling be able to steal the turtle again this time?
The vision is less. There is no vision, and the Ling is able to make a good turtle steal, and he is able to use his templates of blades and come back as well. Or will he be caught out this time? Okay, he has been able to escape from the team fight, and that was a very good turtle steal right there from the Ling, from Lupsi, guys. Yes.
And dude, look that dude. I think we are seeing a clear difference in the jungle. I don't know about the mid lane or any other role, but dude, this Lupsi guy is an absolute menace on the Ling. He was invade early game, was having a 2-level disadvantage, and now he's farmed up so much that he's 2 levels ahead of Serar Mun. So you can't count this man out. He is on point, dashing into 4. He dashed into 4 people off ET, and he walked out with that turtle with nobody to stop him. So a really great job by Loopsy, guys. And right now I think we're gonna see another gank. Flicker being used by Franco, the suppression being used, and once again the camera pans on to Suzumi and he dies. But he does not. The caster's curse has clutched up the second I said he dies. Kimi takes his life and Kimi has to give up his life instead. Serar Mun using Alpha's charge, but he's missed completely, and Dusty Mizu secures a kill. 3 people down. And dude, meanwhile on the bot side, as we spoke, Suzumi got killed while trying to recall by ZOHUNT.
Saying that while you were saying that Suzumi was dying, and Suzumi has actually died to the hands of Loopsy, guys, and Loopsy, guys, is secured his second kill. And yeah, I think the caster's curse is actually true, because every time the camera is pointed on Suzumi, has been dying. He has died 3 times actually. Every time the camera has been pointing on him. And Dusty Mizo is clearing his lane, and there is some pressure on the bot lane, which Suzumi will be clearing again. Suzumi, it's funny what's happening with Suzumi and the camera right now.
He is definitely not getting that highlight material. And meanwhile on top side, Prime picks up a free turret on top. Turtle is up. Serar Mun, look at that, a beautiful play. But right as Suzumi was trying to pick up a kill, he gets zoned away from the fight. Primal Wrath being used. He is going to try to pick up a kill onto this Franco, and Suzumi picks up his first kill. A great job. And meanwhile on top, Zaman Force being used and Harriet's cleaning up the turret. Meanwhile on bot side, Tempest of Blade being used. Bid gets popped out, but his holy, that blood wings is there to give him that shield and that additional sustain. And it's the first turtle secured by Serar Mun, and I think finally he is showing why he has a retribution on him, as he was able to secure the first turtle for himself.
The guy has been going all around the map and trying to push the lane. He was just a minute ago he was in the mid lane, and now he's at the bot lane. So he's trying to maximize the potential of this Ling and trying to create the trying to take out the objectives as soon as he can. And Crazy Psycho walks between 3 people and tries to get a stun, and he is able to get a good stun, but okay, he will pay the price by giving his own life there.
Look at that flicker being exposed, and that flicker is being used up. Both teams disengaged, really popped low. It is not. And dude, did any one of you see that dodge on the bot lane when Alpha used his ult onto Loopsy? Loopsy used his S onto the Alpha to dodge it. That was some. Meanwhile, ET is going to try to reach down this lane, but it just gets cleared out. Both teams at they have slowed down the tempo somewhat. Finally, they're both trying to collect themselves, recollect, try to figure out, trying to find some open.
Whoopsie, guys, has been trying to pressure all the at the lanes all the time, and but Ruby has cleared it faster, so he was able to defend it. Now the Lord is about to come up, so will both the teams try to take the Lord, or will they wait for each other again just near the bushes again? That will be a thing to watch. So the Lord has come up. So the Lord has come up, and we are seeing a fight happening, and the Alpha has used his ult onto the Terizla, but Terizla has been able to escape. And I think ET will be able to take the mid lane turret easily this time, with 4 people in the middle. But okay, the Ling has arrived on the scene and Ling has used his Tempest of Blades and he will not commit totally, and the fight is still going on, and Harith has picked up Minotaur easily this time, and the Vexana has picked up Suzumi again. Suzumi goes down again, and Alpha with his ultimate is able to take down 3 people at once. And this Serrar Moon just showing his quality right here, but he will also go down in the fight. And they will be able to take down the mid lane turret.
And right now, 3 people down on the side of both teams. It is just Crisis, Bid, Loopsy, and Win. And look at that. Loopsy is being absolute menace, constantly pressurizing the bot side and trying to put up as much pressure as possible so he can comfortably, secure this Lord. But knowing this guy, he might just walk in the last second, pop a retry and Tempest of Blades out of there, because that is what we've seen so far, and he's doing a great job at it.
Okay. Has
And look at that on the top side.
Crisis will go down easily. And this should be a good time for them to take the Lord right now instead of waiting for the last moment. So, but Loopsy guys is not in the mood to take the Lord. I guess he will still wait for them to start the Lord, the other team to start the Lord, and then go in for the last hit. Prime is
and
oh, that
and
is
look
a
at
very
that,
nice
3-man.
That is a very nice ult by Dusty Mizo, but he took 3 men in his ult, but now, and that is a very nice backup by the Ling, but the enemy team has retreated enough so that they are not in any danger right now. And they will be able to comfortably take the Lord. That was a very good team fight, man. It needed your commentary.
And right now, right as we speak, a beautiful play. Looking at Crisis, how he sustained for that long, but he finally gets popped out by Win. In fact, Crisis was actually able to bait out the Winter Truncheon, the Winter Crown of Crazy Psycho. And right now, both the roamers are, both the frontliners are down on both sides. Prime has finally fallen. He was having he got a little too comfortable in his skin while playing for these teams. Meanwhile, Bid has bought the Winter Crown, so we might see him trying to bait out Loopsy onto him. But Lord is in the favor of Team ZOHUNT, and the first Lord will be marching down on the top side, trying to siege down the base. Do you think they'll be able to siege the inhibitor with just this level 1 Lord?
It's a very hard thing to do, but I think they will try their best to take out an inhibitor so that they can create pressure on the lanes. And I see them trying to take out the mid lane first. Oh, that is a very great hook by Crazy Psycho, and with his ultimate, he will be able to land a good ultimate, but Suzumi was able to escape from it. And the Tempest of Blades coming in, but they disengaged from both teams immediately, but they will be able to take down this tier 2 mid lane tower. And okay, the passive of Aurora has just been used up, and Vexana has picked up the kill, and Serrar Moon with a double kill easily, and I am offended being used by Crisis as well. That is a very good I am offended, and Win will escape. But oh my god, Loopsy guys is being naughty right here. He has taken down a inhibitor turret, and that is a very big achievement for the ZOHUNT team because it will create a pressure on the lanes for them.
And Loopsy being really sneaky, and he's picked up that bot lane inhibitor and exposed the base. And I'm offended being used. Dusty Mizo has used his penalty zone too, but he gets picked out by the damage from Serrar Moon. Tempest of Blades being used, and he jumps onto the wall instantly. What a beautiful show of fast hands by Loopsy guys. But right now, 4 people in the mid lane trying to contest for this tier 2 inhibitor, but it fails to do so due to the lane clear of this Vexana and Harith. By the way, like Bid and Vim both are doing a really great job on their mid lanes, but I think it's quite clear this game Crazy Psycho on that Franco is just doing a lot more work than Kimi. And it's not a great place to be, because the Minotaur is not even getting to jump in the backline before he gets CC chained by 5 people.
Yeah, you're right about that. The Minotaur has not been able to be very he has not been able to be very effective in this game. But Crazy Psycho has 13 assists, and this just shows how he has been so good with his Franco in this game. He has been very useful, even though we didn't expect it to be. And this just shows that he has some very good game skills, which he uses to be able to be so good at a hero, which is not that useful actually, if you consider. But okay, there is a camp in the bush behind the Lord. Will Serrar Moon walk into it? That was a very nice ult by Crazy Psycho, and Crazy Psycho with the ult. But Serrar Moon will be able to escape. Prime still doing his damage, and okay, Win brings down Kimi, and they will
And
disengage. And Ling being a very naughty guy right now, he is still pushing. He is still pushing.
he doesn't want to wait for a Lord fight. He doesn't want to test his retribution. He just wants to end the game and get some sleep. And also being a winner. So he wants all of that, and he does get the Lord at the end of it all. And right now, Suzumi locked down alone, 3-man penalty zone by Dusty Mizo. Will this be the end? It is only Bid and Crisis against the 5 of Zohunt. But at the same time, there's just no minions for them. And they got lucky on that end because hopefully Kimi is also back and Serar Man and Suzumi will be back because right now the zero lane clear on the side of this team of ET. They will have to eliminate these minions or they will end up being eliminated themselves. And look at that. Loopsy guy is trying to find a catch onto Bid and Bid just makes it out luckily. And look, he's being poked down left and right. And with that, his entire passive gets popped out. Double Winter Crown being played, being used, but he will fall. Minions marching down. It is him against the world. Suzumi has to use his ult, but it will not be enough. The minions are still there. The Aegis is siege. It breaks. The crystal crumbles. And Eliminators instead have been eliminated by Zohunt, and it is a victory for Team Zohunt as they become our next semi-finalists of the Legends Unleashed tournament. With the MVP going on to win, who was absolutely on point on this Vexana. Dusty Mizo with some beautiful sets. Those iron hooks of Franco's were mesmerizing, and a huge amount of damage being dealt by Prime. Overall, Zohunt showed their class in game 5 and outclassed Eliminators. Eliminators will have to contest for the next semi-final spot through the lower brackets. So with that, we have these are the games for the day.
This is me, Fredo, signing off. Good night.
Good night, viewers, and please join in tomorrow for another exciting match. Thank you.